Welcome back to another week of Kernel at the Buzzer. Before this podcast starts, we want to remind you that everyone on today's podcast has their own opinions and they do not reflect the Kernel in entirety. Welcome back to another week of Kernel at the Buzzer. I'm your host, Kai McClelland. And this week, we do not have a guest. It's just my co-host, AJ Nava, my co-host, Israel Schill, along here with me. Guys, it's been a week. It's been a week.
It really has. It's been, you can say it's been a great week for Kentucky men's basketball, at least in the transfer portal.
For transfers, yeah.
Because last week, when we were here with Lane, talking about, everybody's complaining, Pope's not doing nothing. We're not getting these top transfers. So here we are a week later.
What did we say on the podcast?
We said
everybody needs to calm down.
Everyone needs to calm down.
Patient.
They didn't even have a coach at this point last year.
Nope. And now we are a week later, and the University of Kentucky has 4 new transfers.
4 new transfers. Starting to be the new look Wildcats out here.
Look at this. We have Cam Williams. We have Mo Diabate. We have Jaden Quintance. I believe that's how you say his name.
It's
Quaintance.
Jaden Quaintance.
Quaintance, apologies. And Jalen Lowe.
So, yeah, a lot of good guys that Kentucky's picked up, starting to fill out that roster a little bit. We were talking a lot about how there's problems of lack of size down low. They solved that really quickly, picking up Quaintance and Diabate, filling up some of that size. But, Kai, what are you seeing off this team? What's your expectation kind of based off what we got right now?
Well, right now it feels like Kentucky's 1 or 2 pieces away, probably even leaning more towards 1. I really think the bigs are filled out. The forwards are filled out. It's almost like you need one more guard just because Travis Perry, not sure if he's going to take the biggest of jumps where he could be like a second unit guy. He kind of was a little bit, but didn't play that much this year. So I think they need that one more guard to really fill it out. And we got some guys here that are still on the board for Kentucky. We had Xavier Lee, rumors going around. He's out of the picture now. Wesley Yates was kind of thrown around, but it's looking more like he's going to Washington. But Jaron Pierre, he has been a focal point for Kentucky recruiting in the past 2 weeks. And I don't know how you all feel about him, but, man, I don't know. He led the nation in scoring last year.
It was
so,
solid. I don't know. I'm always going to say, like how you said, rumors are flying around. That's how I take these transfer talks, is only rumors until they happen. Yeah. So I prefer, the guys that we have now, that Kentucky has now, saying, hey, let's be happy with them. I'll talk about these targets when they do eventually come to Kentucky.
Yeah.
So are you guys excited about any of those guys?
For sure.
I'm excited about Jaden more than anybody, just because I was not expecting that one to actually go through, actually happen, Kentucky to pay the big bucks. This kid is 17 years old.
Crazy.
And he's already played a year of college ball. He'll be 18 at Kentucky.
That's
but,
like unheard of, really.
Yeah. Dude, when I was 17, I was playing Fortnite and like going to football practice, subbing in for the second unit. This kid is played for ASU.
Subbing in for the second unit? So you weren't even on the second line? You were third?
Yeah, so
you were a third stringer in high school?
Yeah.
Dude, I would have quit.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, but dude.
You know who didn't quit? Jaden.
Yeah. Here's the point. He is so young. He visited Kentucky already, so it's almost like...
don't say he just visited.
Before.
He was committed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you said he visited, just was hanging out. Just catching an eye.
He was Kentucky.
He was here.
Kentucky, ready to go. And
he was posed with the national title.
Yeah.
On his Insta.
There you go.
I'm a cat. And then...
Yeah, and I like that picture that Lane posted where it was quick look at a jersey swap on Jaden Quaintance, and it was just his pictures from when he was
here. But it's
here.
crazy how things like that work out. Now he's a Wildcat. Now he's going to be putting on that Kentucky jersey officially.
Yeah.
It's great.
He's one of those guys. I was telling, everybody, man, he is, Kentucky's down 4 points. toss him a lob and he's going to go get it.
It's almost
and everyone's
like
going crazy.
what
like,
Amari Williams was doing last year or this season. A similar,
Yeah,
not the same game, but a similar.
Lane was like, he said after, he was like, he's going to do what Amari didn't do. He's going to dunk the ball every time. He's like, he ain't going to lay it up
He's
once.
not going to lay it up.
Jaden has that
punching
chip on his shoulder.
That's
He's
like that
angry
one
at the
kid that
rim.
we interviewed on the street who said,
Amari Williams.
no more of these soft layups. You got to dunk the ball, man. You got to dunk the ball.
I think
he was right.
Kentucky fans will be happy because Jaden,
Yeah.
he loves to dunk the ball at 6'9", 6'10". I got conflicting answers on that.
Yeah, but I mean,
around
regardless, 225. Like,
Yep.
but he is like muscle. Like, that's a
Another
big
thing
boy.
I like about him, he is a paint protector.
Yeah.
2.6 blocks. That's going to be a big help for Kentucky this season. What does scare me about him, though, is he's coming off that ACL injury.
Yeah.
That is a big problem Kentucky had this season with so many injuries, guys in and out of the lineup. So that will be kind of a point of emphasis for Pope.
The nice thing is he's so young. So coming back from injuries like that, it'll make it a little bit easier at 17 years old. And, you're seeing guys like, I don't know, I couldn't even think of somebody off the top of my head. NBA players who are coming back from ACL injuries, no problem. Coming back from these injuries super
Kevin
quick.
Durant, Klay Thompson.
Klay Thompson came back. So there's a lot of guys who do that. And I think Quentin's so young. He's going to recover so quick, I think.
His father did say he's already ahead of schedule.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't think it's obviously nothing to worry about when the season starts, but I think even leading up to it, I think he'll be full tilt pretty soon.
I think my main worry right now is what is the team outside of Ortega. And I trust Mark Pope and the way he's forming a team. But when I look at the current roster, I look at the 12 guys here, I mean, I don't want to pin anybody, but I don't look at Mo Diabate and think he's averaging 12 points. I don't look at Cam Williams and thinks he's going to be that guy. Jalen, sorry. I always say Jelon, I don't know why. But Jalen Lowe, like, he's the only guy in that category that I can see being, like, a very, very consistent scorer. You can't hope that Jasper Johnson's going to come in and be, like, how Rob and Reed were. You can't pin that on him. Like, he's a freshman, you know what I mean? So I think them getting someone like Pierre is so important right now because they need that guy outside of Ortega that can go get a bucket at any time.
True. I can see that. I can see why you think that. Jalen Lowe, he took a load from Pittsburgh. I mean, he was the main guy for them, and he really was never supposed to be in that situation. And I think he's going to thrive in this Kentucky. Mark Pope's going to put him in a great role to where he's going to get double digits almost every game. That's going to be solid.
I agree.
I do think, sorry to cut you off, I do think that you can get double digits from some of these guys, though. You got to think about, like, Mo was sitting behind some pretty, like, solid post players at Alabama, Grant Nelson, Clifford Omoruyi. I don't still, like, barely know how to pronounce that guy's name. But, like, he was sitting behind some players where he wasn't getting, like, give me the ball now, I want to work in the post, because there was 3 other guys doing that. So I do think you just need to give some time for some of these players. Not to say that in a year from now we could have looked back and say, well, that was a horrible pickup. But, I think it's a little bit too early to be like, I don't think this guy can average double digits, because you don't know that.
Well, no, but, like, I think I don't want to say, like, I know it all. I've watched basketball all my life. But it's like you can tell by a guy who, like, Colin Chandler, for example, it took him the entire season to get comfortable, and he wasn't comfortable until the last, 5-6 games of the season.
That's a freshman, though, who hadn't played basketball in 2 years.
But that's my point. You have Jasper, Akaden, Malachi. Those are 3 guys instantly that, like, I don't expect anything from. And then Cam, Mo Diabate, Travis Perry, and Trent Noah especially too. Like, I don't see them having that Ortega instinct and, like, bringing that. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah,
like,
bringing that.
They're
that
intense,
intensity.
they're intense, but it's like Ortega 3-4 game winners this year.
Yeah.
Or 2 actual game winners, 2 game tying shots. It's like Ortega is that guy you need late game. So it's like you can't have a bunch of guys that can just play defense and like 3-and-D.
I do think that we are lacking a lot
up.
of that 3-and-D play this year. Like, I mean, especially like, Lamont wasn't a great 3-point shooter, but having a guard that like is locking up most of the season, where you don't have to be like, all right, we need to play some defense. Let's sub off one of our shooters and put on somebody that can actually lock down, because you kind of had that combo last year with some guys, which I think that might be a gap in the talent for this upcoming season. Is you're not going to have a lot of defense.
We could be wrong. Jasper could be on that Ortega level.
I'm hearing that he is maybe even going to start next year. Like, I've been hearing that he is
like a shooting guard, throw him in
like
there.
that they're like, just let him cook, because you don't know. You know what I mean? He's coming out of high school and he could be amazing. So I'm hearing that, you know what, just put him out there, especially the early games of the season, see what he does, let him get into the swing of things, and then from there you can obviously, you're going to work in more Trent Noah, because he's going to see a big increase in minutes this season as well. But I think it'll be good. There's a lot of guard play. It'll be good to rotate that around and, find the best fit for the starting
It's all
five.
going to depend on how Pope really gets them going early. If he lets Jasper go crazy early, he's going to find his footing earlier in the season, make it easier late game. So all that depends on Pope, really. I
want to get your opinion on this, because I know you brought it up, but there's some Lamar Wilkerson rumors swirling around as well. Jaren's like the only guard on the board right now, but Lamar could be a Kentucky Wildcat as well.
Yeah, I mean, we were going back and forth, obviously, trying to figure out who the heck are they going to pick up. Like, is it going to be Lamar? Is it going to be Jerron Pierre Jr.? Is it going to be Yates? Now we know it's not going to be Yates, but still trying to figure out that guard play. He's a guy that is no shadow of a doubt this guy can score the basketball. I mean, putting up 20 points a game, shooting 48% from the field. That's really solid. Shooting, let's not forget, 45% from three. And
it's crazy.
That is crazy. Yep. 45% from three. And
82 from the line.
And you need, like, right now, this team needs a shooter. This team needs a Kobe Bryant. This team needs Jackson Robinson. This team needs somebody who you're going to put in, and they're going to check up 6 or 7 threes a game and hit 4 of them.
Yeah, because, you're looking at Jalen being your best shooter, maybe Jasper. Cam's pretty solid, and so is Colin, but Ortega wasn't the best from 3 last year. He was very timid when he got that wide open one. If it wasn't butt naked, he did not take it with confidence. So, sorry, it's true.
It's okay.
I've never compared that to that, but anyway.
Yeah, he would be such a great addition to the roster. Basically a guaranteed 3 to 4 threes a game coming off the bench.
For sure.
Something that is really hard to pass up if you're Mark Pope right now, looking for what you need to finish off your transfer portal run. Between him and Jerron Pierre, like, 2 amazing scorers and 2 guys who, sure, I'll take both of them. You know what I mean? Why not? But at the end of the day, it's like 2 6'5" senior guards who are just pure buckets. I like Lamar Wilkerson a little bit better, but that's just personal preference. I think both of them would be a great fit on the team.
Yeah, I think the one contradiction to that is maybe them sneaking Xavier Lee. I know he's kind of out of the picture.
I just don't see how it's going to happen.
Yeah,
and I don't really see the fit.
Well, I think it's more of a pure playmaker scenario, because he's
so gross.
a very good scorer, but he's so also gross.
He finds guys so easily.
Well, his size just allows him to
it's like Trae Young almost.
Yes.
You're small and you can weave through everybody and make everybody tired and then dish the ball great, shoot it at will,
Yeah.
It'd be awesome. It'd be awesome.
Chris Paul tendency too to
pass first.
Not turn the ball over too much.
Yeah.
Pass first. I could very well see him being a guy taking the ball down the court, get a screen from Jaden. If the lob's not there, throw it to Ortega. Nothing there for Ortega. You can set up a pick and pop.
Setting up a new possession.
It would be a good offense, but
Kentucky needs a high IQ guy like that. That's something they haven't seen in a long time.
I think it's in my personal opinion, I think Jaren is the only guy that Like, I feel like Xavier's the passer, Lamar's the scorer. If you want a little bit of both, go get Jaren. That's how I'm seeing it right now. I don't know if y'all agree.
I mean, to add on to yours, I think you're getting a little bit better defense with Jaren probably.
Yeah.
They're both averaging close to a steal a game. Not really worrying about blocks because
they're guards. No one cares about blocks for guards
unless you're Derek White. That's okay. I mean,
yeah. Okay. Stop talking about Boston. We're talking about Kentucky.
But anyway,
he's no Man Thompson.
Yeah, for real, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like you get a guy who can still come in and put up ridiculous numbers off the bench, and then come at you with some firepower on defense. Not be afraid to be dirty, to get down on the floor and take a loose ball for yourself.
And, who's to say they're done with the big man? I mean, they could go get Alvaro Fulgarius. They get Mackenzie Mbaku.
You never know.
You don't know.
Yeah, we talked about Mbaku, if I said that right, a little bit last week. And it was kind of starting to look like he probably wasn't going to go, but he's still there a week later, still on the board. Another forward. I don't think it's necessary, but
it's always good to have size and length.
Yeah,
it's always now. Look at what we have
right now. You have 2 forwards and 2 centers.
Solid. You can always get a third of each.
Yeah,
or
you
third
only got
for one.
You got about what? They got 3 more scholarship spots left.
I mean, yeah, I think because they have 12 on the roster right now.
Yeah.
I think men are subject to 14 or 15. So.
Oh, is it?
But like those guys don't play. Like those are
of course.
Those are your Walker Horns and your Travis Perrys and your.
But me personally, I'm always a guy
Zach
that
Towles.
wants more size than guard play. I'll always take more forwards that can play 4-3-2.
Okay, so just dabbling back to that. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
You can have 15 scholarship players if you get rid of your walk-ons. But if you keep your 3 walk-ons or whatever, you can only have 12 scholarship players. Yeah. So if you decide to go for 15 scholarship players, you can go for 15 scholarship players.
Kentucky scenario. So one more guy, man.
So what I'm hearing is Zach Toe might get cut.
No. No.
I thought he was a senior, no?
Oh, he's a senior.
Is he a senior?
I don't know.
Because he played on senior night, did he not?
No, he just checked into.
Oh, he just checked in or whatever? Oh, okay. Regardless,
dude, listen.
If they keep Zach Tell, but not Cassidy Rowe.
Cassidy Rowe is bad enough. If Zach gets cut,
don't cut Zach.
Kentucky will riot.
Honestly, they probably would.
But I think we got the blueprint. You need that one more forward that can do a little bit of everything, or you trust in Jasper's development, Caden's development, and you go with another forward.
Yep. Right, solid pickup so far from the transfer portal.
So, with what we got right now, let me get a little regular season prediction from you all.
Oh my goodness!
That's way too early.
I know
the lineup's not even complete.
I want a regular season way too early prediction.
They put him at number 6 in ESPN. Way too early rankings. So,
my guess is definitely less than 10 losses.
Less than 10.
I think less than 10 losses. I think they're a single-digit loss team next year.
I'll say better than last year.
Better than last year.
That's my answer.
I guess that's a good way to put it.
Yeah, I'm not giving you an exact.
I'm not giving you.
Come on, guys, entertain me.
Oh,
I'll give you. They had 19 wins, going into the tourneys and stuff. I'll give
Kentucky.
Yeah,
Kentucky.
Before the SEC in March.
Oh, before SEC in March.
They were 24-12.
That's
overall.
After.
Overall.
Oh, that's overall. Yeah.
So they won 21 games. So
yeah.
Yeah, I'll give them 23.
23 games.
Give them 23 games.
But that's before
March Madness.
So overall, you'll give them about
25, 26.
I tell you what, I'm giving them.
What?
40-0 SEC championship, national championship, banner number 9 coming to Lexington. I'll be on State Street. I'll be on State Street. You guys will meet me there.
You're just trying to clickbait the people. It's all
you guys will meet me there. It's fine.
He's trying to make his own social clip right now.
Yeah,
come on, man.
No, you're trying. You're trying to make a social clip. Yeah. I know you.
Yeah, I think we should maybe do in a 6-7 more episodes or something like that, bro.
But anyway,
That's such a super niche comment. Whatever.
No, this lineup is looking great. Pope's philosophy of we're here to win banners, obviously, it's staying with this team. Cam Williams does scare me a little. He's more if about that philosophy Pope's having. But besides that, it's great. What?
What's
that was a stray.
What's iffy about Cam Williams wanting to win championships?
No. I'm saying because have y'all not heard the quotes in just about every interview he's done so far since Kentucky? He has said openly, hey guys, a big thing why I chose Kentucky, I'm paraphrasing here, is because I want to boost my NBA draft stock. And it is kind of reminiscent of Shaden Sharp and the Cal era. And that does scare me, especially in these early times of a brand new philosophy you're building.
I mean, yeah.
I think what's good is that
shaky.
what you get with Pope is that if this guy's only here to boost his draft stock and he doesn't care about winning, Pope's just not going to start him, play him very much.
Obviously,
he's not
Pope
gonna
doesn't
even-
believe that now.
He's not going to start anyways. But
that's also not going to be the first transfer you go and get in the offseason if you think he's like that.
yeah,
So-
this is
Exactly.
true. This is
Exactly.
true.
First coach, man.
But
I
it's
think-
just what he's saying openly is like scary.
Yeah, I got
scary.
you.
Yeah, it's iffy to see right now where they'll end up. But I think with what they have right now, they're doing great. With what they have looking at for the future, it'll be even better. I think they'll be a great team next year.
Yep.
We're going to take a quick break from the episode before we start talking about baseball and softball to play a new game called Start, Bench, or Transfer. So instead of a game today, well, I guess it's technically still a game.
It's a
but less
fun little talk
competitive
about
game
a
here
game.
because there's no guests, so it's going to be more of conversation style. I got 4 sets of 3 former Kentucky players, and you are going to have to decide which one you'd like to start, which one you'd put on the bench, and which one you would send off in the transfer portal. All right, fellas? So here first, we got Bam, Maxey, and Fox. I think this one's really good.
I think it's super easy, actually.
Really?
I'm cutting Bam. He's transferring. And I'm starting De'Aaron Fox, and I'm benching Tyrese Maxey. It's easy.
Are you? What's
I
your?
think-
Where are you basing that off of? How they purely played here? Because that's what I'm basing it off.
Yeah, at Kentucky, right?
Yeah. We're basing
yes.
this off Kentucky.
Bam's transferring. Bam can go thrive somewhere else.
Yeah, but
This
Really?
man dropped 40 in March Madness,
he did.
and this guy dropped, I don't know how
30
many points in a
something, right?
single season
Oh.
for Kentucky.
A lot.
A lot, yeah.
So I got Bam transfer.
You got Bam transferring. You're gonna bench Tyrese, start Fox. I think that's
I
solid.
will say Kai's
Was he on the
alimony that
COVID
he said
year?
for it, pretty convincing.
Pretty solid. What'd you say?
Was he on the COVID roster?
Tyrese?
Tyrese was on the COVID roster.
Imagine, dude. Like that
Yeah.
that team that he was a part of, like they could have
Where'd they go?
Elite Eight run.
Would
at
they go
least.
11-21 or something like that?
What?
Didn't the COVID year? Weren't we horrible during? No. The
No.
year after the COVID
Yeah.
year.
That,
The
was,
year
that was
after.
when Kentucky was horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 2020 year, everyone was saying like Kentucky's winning it all, and they canceled the season.
Yes. The 2021 season was the bad one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I kind of agree with Kai. That was a pretty good statement you made.
You're a good
there.
talker, Kai.
You
Thanks.
sweet talk me right up.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks.
I was going to argue.
Thanks.
Number 2.
But
Number
number
two.
two.
Julius Randle,
This is-
Emmanuel Quickly, Malik Monk.
This is easy too.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah,
this one's
pretty
I don't know.
straightforward.
Who are you
don't
starting?
know.
Who am I starting? Are
Say
you
the right
kidding?
name here. Say the right name.
Say the right.
Monk.
Really?
I was
I
start
was,
Julius
I
Randle.
was between Quick and Monk, actually.
really. I don't
Yeah.
know, dude. I think you're
y'all
cutting.
are forgetting about Randall.
You guys, that's what I was saying.
We
You're
are
forgetting
forgetting about
about
Randle.
Julius Randle, what he did here. He
I'd
was
say these
gross.
two- I think these two you could switch in and out, probably leaning more towards Julius, but he's definitely starting.
No, I think you're starting Julius. You're benching Malik, and you're cutting Quick.
I'm
that's fine.
starting Monk, benching Julius, and cutting Quick.
That's fine.
Yeah,
This is a
those
good
are
interchangeable one.
yeah. This one's
Yeah.
good. I was like, all right, there's a
The
few good starts here.
explosiveness, the fun Monk gave, I'll give him. I want to start him.
I'll never forget
This one I'm really excited about.
North Carolina trauma, dude.
Yeah,
Malik Monk
hit that
killed
buzzer,
and
hit that
everything.
buzzer beater, right?
Well,
or-
yeah, almost.
Almost, yeah. Because
I mean,
Luke May.
well, it
Who
was
can
technically
forget?
it was almost a buzzer beater.
Yeah, it
'Cause
should have been.
Well, it was just slightly too early.
all right.
It's
Move
okay.
on to the next.
This one I really like. Because it's a little more personal. You
Oh,
know?
no.
We were all here for all three of these guys.
Yeah.
What do you think this is easy?
Yeah.
I mean, no, it's not. It's not easy.
Reed Shepherd didn't even start.
Hey,
Reed Shepherd didn't even start at UK. So
He's starting for me. I don't
that's
care.
what I'm saying.
He's
He came
nice.
off the bench. Okay.
this is what we want.
Okay. Let me say the names in case, because you know, audio listeners.
Kaysen
Wallace, Reed Shepherd, Jackson Robinson.
I'm forgetting about Kaysen.
Dude.
Yes.
He was
Kaysen
so
locked
gross.
down every single team's
Okay,
best
yeah.
player.
You got-
Kaysen was
dude.
automatic from the mid range. The
Yeah.
corner three,
Lottery pick.
He is one of the highest 3-point percentages in the
So
corner
we're
three
cutting
of any
J-Rob?
Kentucky player.
Damn.
You gotta cut J-Rob, right?
J-Rob
Yeah.
is transferring
But
to
to
Florida,
me, like
wherever.
it's tough. Like starting, I don't know who I'd start.
This
I'm
is
starting
a
Reed,
real
dog.
conversation.
You start Reed
Yeah.
I am
because both of them were like
Because you could
shooters, defensive,
low-key.
menacing. Like
low-key, you could argue that Reed could do everything that he can do.
yeah,
And-
but you could say it back. You know,
Yeah,
you
can
can change.
J-Rob
argue
doesn't
that for
fit any
both.
categories.
Well, J-Rob can shoot like both
Listen,
of them.
I think Kai
cannot
is
shoot better than
Kai
Reed.
is
You're right,
very
he cannot shoot
biased.
better than Reed.
Kai is very biased because Reed Shepherd is playing for the Houston
is a
Rockets.
Houston-
yeah, I will say both of you all are Houston Rockets
No.
fans.
My bias is flatline because
Yeah,
I did
okay.
have a class
Sure.
with Kaysen Wallace, so
Alright.
it balances
I had a
out.
class
I had
with
classes
Reed.
with these guys too.
Okay,
Yeah.
whatever. I'm just saying my biases are
Does that
flatline.
mean nothing?
Yeah, that means I don't have any bias.
Whatever.
All right, number
So-
4.
Number
No,
4.
I will say for me though, start Kaysen, bench Reed, transfer J-Rob.
All right, whatever.
That worked.
That works for me. This is our last one
Was
because
it hard?
there's only so many guys who played for Kentucky. There's a lot, but only so many good matchups you can make here, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna say this one isn't that hard, but these are just three stars. But I think this one's pretty self-explanatory. Book AD
Ooh.
Shea, and when you think about what they did at Kentucky, you have to start AD bench book cut Shea.
Yeah. But let's make this interesting.
Do we want to talk
and
about
go
NBA?
off of NBA.
That's
as
what I
well.
was hoping you guys would do to this
Okay.
one because right now I'm starting Shea, probably benching AD, transferring Book.
Oh,
Whoa.
you got some recency bias behind you, sir.
Bro,
I'm talking their whole NBA career.
whole NBA career.
Yeah, don't just go off this
all right,
season.
whole NBA career, probably starting Book or AD.
No, starting AD.
You
not
think?
Book. Yes, you're starting AD.
I'm transferring
Champion,
Book.
always in
Okay, bro, you
DPOY
can't-
conversations.
Mickey Mouse Championship.
Oh
Okay.
my God.
Mickey Mouse
whatever.
Championship.
You know what? if Jason Tatum never got blocked by Bam in the
Listen, we don't need to talk about that. We're not talking about
Okay,
Bam. We're not
I
talking
think
about the Celtics.
If we're going off NBA, you start AD, bench
Shea,
Shea, and cut Book.
Yeah.
Because
Sorry,
Books-
Book. The Suns suck.
Suns suck. Book's never been
Book
as
dropped
high
70,
in-
bro.
Okay. You know how normal
Celtics
that
were
is
40.
nowadays?
Sam
What?
Hauser would do that, bro.
I don't know if you
Peyton
can make
Pritchard
that.
almost dropped 50. Like,
Yeah,
what the
but
heck?
dropping 71, like sure, it's a
Yeah,
loss.
so did
but
Dame, so did Donovan Mitchell.
yeah,
so
these
did,
are really
so did
good.
Kobe.
These are
So
some.
did-
These are some of the best players in the league
Didn't-
you're mentioning.
didn't-
Kobe's almost like top
Malachi
five.
Flynn dropped 50. We can't
Alright,
keep
bro.
using
Were
the
you gonna,
50,
like,
60, 70
Oh,
as
TJ
a big
Warren,
reason.
Bubble Warren dropped 51.
I mean, like
Like-
Jalen Green averages 40 now. I mean, the NBA is inflated. So,
What?
you know, so, low key.
Jalen Green averages 40?
No.
Yeah,
No.
low key.
Yeah.
I'm an 80 supporter.
Either way, Kentucky NBA, AD is starting, in my
Yeah.
opinion.
Yeah, and Book has to get
Shea
cut.
sucked at Kentucky.
Shea was not good.
Like Booker was better.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I was hoping we could go off NBA and
Yeah.
not that.
Listen, if we're going off NBA, Book and Shea are switched from Kentucky.
Okay.
That's how it is.
I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I think that's respectable.
I'm glad we changed your mind.
So no game winner today, but
We all got to talk ball now.
We all got to
We're
spit
the
some
winners.
All right. Right now, Patino, Cal, and Pope.
oh no.
Same style.
Same style, Patino, Cal, and Pope. You have to probably
Hire Patino.
You probably have to hire Patino, assistant Cal, and
And cut Pope.
cut Pope.
No.
You're such a bandwagon. It's been 1 year.
You are such a
It's been 1 year.
That is like these are like two of the
me
greatest
your
college
reason. Give me
basketball
your
coaches
reason.
of all time, and Mark Pope, dude.
Give me your reason.
because
I love Mark Pope. Let me tell you.
I don't like Calipari. I mean, I'm
Okay, take your fandom away.
I thought we
I don't have
were
any
a news podcast.
Okay, you got a little bit of fandom. Come on, you
No.
go here.
no.
I
don't
thought we
like
were a
Cal.
news podcast that stated the facts.
We do
And
say the facts, and Calipari always chokes and always loses.
Calipari won a natty here.
Calipari went
One.
just as
I
far
promise
as
you,
Mark
Mark
Pope.
Pope will have like probably a lot.
You backed yourself down from that so hard. I bet Mark Pope will have
a lot.
a lot.
Yeah, dude. Cal's going.
Oh my goodness.
God,
We're not.
man.
That's not
Patino-
the official start
Patino's
bench
starting.
cut.
You gotta
We
think,
all
obviously,
know that.
yeah,
Yeah,
but you got
obviously,
like,
Patino.
come
But,
on,
you know,
Cal.
if I
We're
wanna-
thinking historically. Cal's a better coach than Mark Pope historically.
For now.
For now,
Yeah.
for
And that's what we're
and
going
that's what
off of
we're not talking about in
now.
10 years. We're
Well-
talking about right now. You said right now.
That's all you have to say?
stupid.
Oh, you're just trying to get a rise out of us.
Yeah, man.
I like Pope, man.
Whatever.
We
dude.
all
I'm a
of
Pope.
Kentucky likes Pope right now, but all of Kentucky, I'm not gonna speak for all of Kentucky, but Patino, Cal, Pope. That's how it's gotta go.
Freaking crazy work, dude.
Goodness gracious,
That's crazy work.
you really.
All right, guys. So, to end off today's podcast, we got to talk about the baseball and softball teams. It's been underwhelming so far, and I think we knew it would be a bit of a downslide, but not this big of a downslide. I do want to talk about the Wildcats first of all, because amazing season last year, College World Series. How do they
Chef's
accumulate? How many wins?
Give me 1 second.
It was a lot.
That was a lot.
A lot of dubs.
46-16.
Yeah,
That
man.
is
And
insane.
for reference, they're already have lost 12.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bad season. 3 out of their last 4 games have gone into extra innings, and all those have gone down the tube. And it's just like, man, the one at Louisville really, really hurt because you were like, okay, Kentucky has a lead. They're 2 outs away.
Mm-hmm.
And then just 2 back-to-back RBI singles. Louisville walks it off. I mean, they're playing good teams. It's not ever like a conversation like they're losing to someone bad. Like, they lost to Lipscomb early in the season, but it's like Lipscomb was decent. But you're losing to the number 9 team in the country by a single point on your home field, and then you're losing.
They lost by a single point twice, and then they lost by 2 in the second game. So it's like it was close. Like, they were close in those Ole Miss games.
And then Louisville, too, is 10, 11. I think 11 after yesterday's poll.
11.
So it's like, man, they're playing some of the best, but now it's like you're sitting at 18-12. What, 5 wins in the SEC only, and you have Texas and Tennessee coming up. It's like, you're looking at a sub 500 record.
Yeah, I mean, specifically the fact that they're walking into KPP and looking right in the soul of the number 2 Texas team this weekend, and gonna have to try and come out with
Try to do something.
something.
That's all they can do.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to badmouth them too much because they're always there. Like, they were there against Georgia.
And they were there
They're
against Ole Miss. Yeah.
They're against – I know they won the A&M series.
But even that first game when they only lost by 2.
Like, they're always there.
Especially like Auburn, they dang near could have taken that series win.
You cannot hate on a team that always shows up at the very least.
True.
And, I mean, a good point that I would like to make is, that fighting spirit, it's almost – to shout out my Tar Heels, if you can squeak in, everyone will talk about you and everyone knows that you can kind of compete a little bit. So if you can just squeak into that, that postseason play, Kentucky could shock. Kentucky could be a team that goes decently far. But right now, it's looking like they're not going to even make it.
Well, my problem with that is I don't think you can categorize them as a team that's able to go into the playoffs and sneak in and shock people. I mean, last year.
Well, I mean, why not? Because if
you got to think about it like this: the last 2 seasons, they were great.
Mm-hmm.
The team was so good. I mean, let's see what 2023 was. Another.
I mean, I know they they lost 7 of their starters.
And they went
from last
40
year's
and
team.
21 in 2023, and then obviously last season 46 and 16. I mean, and then you come in now and you're basically at that loss count. Minge is like, we were, you know, he talked about it at media day at the beginning of the year about all this new freshmen, why the team wasn't ranked coming into the season, and why these big roster flips that he does kind of ruins his credibility a little bit as a recruiter and as a coach. And it was working out for him because last season, you know, he kind of, I'm not going to say he got bailed out, but that team was, I mean, ridiculous.
Probably
Crazy
the
good.
greatest.
So many big leaguers, you know what I mean?
Greatest
Like
ever, like low-key. You could definitely.
you could argue that one of the best
They're up
Kentucky
there.
baseball teams
They're
of all
up there.
time. So now you come in and you kind of have to say, okay, well, we knew we weren't going to be as good as last season, right? But like maybe not nearing 500.
Yeah, that's
Nearing 500
like,
is not great. And
that's kind of the beginning point I was getting at. Like, you knew it was going to be a drop-off, but not like this.
yeah, and especially since they very well could have 23, 24 wins right now.
You could take
6
of their losses out of their 12
that they either
and
blew
toss them on the win record.
or lost in extras and throw them on. Like, these are wins that they could have gotten away with.
And you can look at their ranking, too. Imagine you sweep a number 9
Mm-hmm.
Ole Miss team
That would change
and then
so
beat
much.
Louisville, you know, on the road,
Mhm.
who's 11.
And that
puts
changes.
you back in the top 20 at least.
Exactly.
So-
But now instead you're going to face Texas off of, you know, losing 3 of your last 4, winning off a, you know, game-winning hit from Devin Burks against Ole Miss in like a game that was kind of ugly. So
I'm like, man, I'm telling you, like, I love going to KPP and watching them, but like, unless they pull off a miracle like they did against Georgia last year,
mhm.
and they host Texas and Lexington and somehow sweep them, I mean, the hope for the season goes down the tube. Tennessee,
Tough.
their ballpark, like, for people that like don't watch very, very, very like in tune, like, Tennessee would come into Kentucky's park and probably pop up everything, but now that it's at Tennessee, like, they're going to hit that ball out off Kentucky's bullpen probably at least 4 times a game, maybe more, kind of like how Georgia did. So it's like those are going to be high-scoring games where you have the bats lately who put up 4 hits in an entire game. It's like,
Yeah.
gosh, man, it's
And
not.
also it's like you got your pitching staff is
You gotta talk to them.
you
gotta
like
give them a
pitching
talk.
is
Man.
we don't need to mince words, right? The pitching is horrible. The pitching right now for the Cats is horrible. They got 2 or 3 guys, maybe. They got like 2 guys that are like, this is a good baseball pitcher. And then you got like 3 guys that are like, this is not a good baseball pitcher. Yet somehow they have no choice but to play them every single week.
Besides Slim Reaper, like, they're all just inconsistent.
Yeah.
So
I
have
mean, you
one
got
good
a guy
pitcher.
that you nicknamed the
Scott's good, but it's like you have 2 guys on
Yeah.
your entire roster that you can like count on, and I mean sincerely, like, count on. Do not give up a run in the end.
Yeah, and they got
2
this.
guys.
You know, they got. I don't know if you know Evan Byers.
That's
There.
Slim Reaper.
Yeah. Well,
11
what they call
strikeouts.
him on the broadcasts. I don't know if you watch a lot of the broadcasts.
What do they call him?
They call him the fireman or something.
The
The
fireman?
fireman because he puts out fires. He's got like a 7 ERA. I don't really know what fires he's putting out, but like he's come into games and, you know, retired one hitter, and then Minge pulls him out, which I think is kind of weird. But I don't know. The pitching is tough. The team is not in a great place, but, you know, you still have the heart, I think, a little bit as they did last season, but I just don't think you have the firepower and the star power that the team had last season.
It just sucks. This team is actually, they are really close for a bunch of guys that just met each other. They're really close. I remember going to a game and talking to Mingione and some of the players after, and they're like, yeah, we're a family. We actually surprisingly do a lot of stuff outside the field, outside the diamond. And it just sucks that they can't back up all that chemistry because of the pitching and because of everything else. And it's tough to see. It's going to be tough watching the Longhorns just do what they do against Kentucky.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few. I'm just going
I
through.
was thinking about Ben Cleaver. I don't know why.
Yeah, I know. I figured you were thinking about Ben Cleaver because he's amazing. He's one of those guys that they throw out there, and he's just like, He's disgusting. Saying that, they've put out Robert Hogan a few times, and he is like
choked last night.
Yeah. Oh my God. Like it's bad. It's bad. Like his ERA is 13.5.
Yeah, but diving into softball real quick too. I mean,
23-17.
Yeah,
A little bit better.
Not much better.
Again,
They are worse in conference. They're 6-9 in the SEC. That's
but
really,
I will argue in their point, like they're playing such hard teams. Like
Yeah, the softball team has a crazy schedule.
Duke, Oklahoma State, UCLA, all in the top 10 to begin your year.
And then
when you dive
LSU.
into conference play, I mean, you just got swept by the number 4 team on the road.
And then you play Ole Miss, who's like also not a cakewalk, still ranked.
They were number
and then you
20
got to
at
go
the
play
time.
Stanford.
number 17 at the time.
And then you have an
Marshall.
Arkansas.
Number 14 at the time.
Yeah, I mean, you got these teams that you're coming in and playing against where it's like, holy moly, they don't get to breathe. They don't get a break.
And then the
We
Auburn
previewed
series
that.
I was supposed to help them out only took one game from there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we previewed that with Smoney like way back. We talked about how loaded the SEC is. It's true. Like you wish Kentucky would have an easy series and we get the Red Sox at home,
Yeah.
We know we're winning this series. But
What in the world was that stray?
it's like one of those like
that stray?
one of those series you can win.
Stay on topic, Israel.
Bro,
please.
Stay on
me?
topic.
Are you
Stay on topic.
Oh my
And,
goodness.
Like, the softball team has only won 3 of their
Goodness,
last
dude.
10 games.
This is ridiculous
It's a
behavior.
rough stretch that they're
I
on.
don't know what
Thank
to say
goodness that
anymore.
they
And-
have Marshall coming up. That should be a kind of pick me
Yeah.
up. In the 17 times UK's played Marshall, they've won it 15 times,
Hey.
which is great for them.
No hurt for them, I guess. Golly. 15
No.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a dead time of the year. Everyone's waiting on football to be halfway decent to start the first 3 games and then disappoint them halfway through the season.
Mm-hmm.
And, everyone has that in the back of their mind. So it's like, man, can basketball start again? Because baseball is not entertaining during this dead period. of sport.
Unfortunately.
And Lord knows football won't be.
No.
That's what I'm saying, man.
It's a tough time for Kentucky fans right now. They got to watch baseball, do their thing, which is get beat right now or just
Bro,
barely
be
win.
nice.
Just barely win.
God.
Okay, my bad. Just barely
Y'all are
lose.
brutal,
Just barely.
man.
And then they got to watch softball.
Who said we had to be
who's-
nice?
Yeah, they got to watch softball, whose whole thing is defense
Tennis
wins
isn't as
champions.
good as they were last year.
No, exactly.
Tennis is
I know.
cool, bro.
I know they won back-to-back SEC championships, and I just wrote a story on it. So don't knock my hustle.
It was nice.
all
I
right?
went to Oklahoma.
Don't knock
State
my
for
hustle
them,
because
man.
I just wrote a story about how departing stars are leaving, has left Kentucky tennis with a lot of room to
Yeah.
struggle.
I may go watch Josh soon, low key. I'll lap it at.
I will be watching the softball team play today. I do have to cover them, so that'll be fun.
Heck
Let's
yeah.
go. Gonna
AJ
go watch
will
the
be
Marshall game.
Mhm,
Give us a
mhm.
nice.
All right, nice little recap, little secondary on that. See, it'll be great.
It'll be great.
Be a good time.
Thank you for watching and listening to another week of Kernel at the Buzzer. Make sure to check us out at kykernel.com or visit us at kykernelsports on Twitter/X. Once again, I've been your host, Kai McClelland, and we want to thank you for catching up with the Kernel.